YouTube, is I'm back with another story time. As y'all see by that title, I'm gonna be telling y'all how I almost got kicked out of Team Up because of a boy. But before we get into the story time, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to a friend or a family member, and let's get into the story time. Y'all wait, before I even get into the story time, in the last video I told y'all that I had a few more things to get for school, so today I did those things. So let's get into what I bought today. I came across these little cute outfits for Leah. Bought Leah, you know, 3 outfits. It goes with this shirt, so yeah, it had one to match exactly like the pants, but I liked it, you know, this set better. I also have this purple set, and I have the pants. So yeah, and then I have this set. These are the only ones that was like really cute to me, that I could dress her with. Now I know she cannot wear these right now. This is more of like winter, you know, when it get cold and stuff, but I still got it. So we have this purse. Now I told y'all that I had to find Maya purse and something that was, you know, big enough to fit her glasses case. And this is the only one that I came across that was like age appropriate for her. The other ones was like big old pocketbooks, as my grandma would say. So I feel like, you know, this is very reasonable. It has the scrap to go over her. Isn't this cute, y'all? Or I should have got something else. I don't know. I feel like it's cute for her. I don't know. Maybe she'll like it. Last but not least, I got them some Converses. I don't know about y'all, but I find Converses very cute on little kids. So yeah, I bought Maya a pair and Lonnie a pair. So yeah, I also got Lonnie these cute Crocs. I feel like these were so cute. Maya has some coming in, but you know, these are Lonnie's. Next, I got some more smell goods. Now this one is mine's. I showed y'all that I got these pink ones the other day, and then I just found this purple one today. So that is crazy. So this one is mine's, and it smells so good. Got my girls one more thing of smell goods. I know y'all like y'all already said, but y'all just to put in a purse, you know. I got them these little cute smell goods, so you know, just to put in a purse. Now that that's all over with, I know y'all ready for the story time, so let's get into the story time. So before I told y'all the story, I had to get some water. Again, around this time, I was in middle school. I was in the 6th grade. This boy was in the 8th grade. I had recently signed up for Team Up with Twin. In Team Up, I did dance and I did step. If you don't know what Team Up is, Team Up was an after-school program where you go and you could do tutor, you could catch up on your schoolwork, and you could also do sports. Let me tell y'all how we met each other. Like I've been told y'all, like I was the girl that like sat by herself and real quiet. So everybody is sitting in a group at the table talking. I would be in the back sitting by myself, you know, scrolling on my phone and stuff like that. One day at Team Up, I had just got in there. I was in there no more than probably like 10-15 minutes. I'm sitting at the sign-in table, which is the first table, and I'm scrolling on my phone. Remind you, I'm in 6th grade, the boys in 7th grade. So while I'm sitting there scrolling on my phone, some girls in 7th grade came and told me that a boy in 8th grade was trying to get my attention. So me, I seen the boy around school, but you know, I don't stare in people's face that much. So I turns around and I see it's the boy named Luther. In that moment, you got the girls in 7th grade. They said they was his sisters. I don't know if those was his actual sisters, or, you know, in school we used to have titles like, you know, you my sister. But they was vouching for him pretty hard. They was like, you very cute. He's a good guy. You know, y'all should get together, this, that, and the third. He thought it was a good idea to get up and come sit at the table with me. Even though Luther seemed sweet, they always made him out to be like a bad child. He was always in trouble. But with me, like, he was real quiet, sweet, but very overprotective. We finally, you know, ended up dating, and you know, everybody was vouching for us. I'm talking about everybody was fucking with our relationship. Like, they knew not to play with us. Like, if a bitch tried to come talk to Luther, they was like, nah, Zach got that. If a nigga tried to come talk to me, they'd be like, nah, Luther got that. Like, okay, like now we locked in. Like, this my boyfriend, I'm his girlfriend. Like, I don't know, your girls in 6th grade pulling them. So let's get to the real tea. So like I said, they always made Luther out to be a bad child. And when I mean they, I mean like the principal, the dean, Yeah, teachers, yeah. Every time you look, Luther was in trouble. I know them trying to like just get in fights back to back or get in trouble back to back. So now the teachers and stuff like dislike you and they try to do every little thing to get you up out of school. He was getting into fights, he was skipping, he was doing stuff like that. And like when he get in trouble, his sisters from 7th grade would come like run and tell me. They will find out what my class said, run and tell me like Luther in trouble. So let's fast forward. So this one time that we was in team up, he was telling me like, oh, he had something to tell me. Like that whole day, he was like, I got something to tell you. It was something like he didn't want to text me about. It seemed like it was very serious. So I started to get worried. So I go into team up. I sign in. Luther nowhere to be seen. He's nowhere to be found. About an hour later, Luther come walking in. He signed in. But he don't look like himself. Like he looked, you know, drained, upset. Literally the only time I could see Luther really was like during team up. Like before, he would walk me to class, he'll walk me to lunch and stuff like that. But it's like they tried to keep Luther away from the rest of the students as much as possible. Why? I don't know. But anyways, Luther come walking in and they have him sit at the last table. So everybody knew something was up. So we had like teachers and staff for team up that was outside of the school. So the teachers that worked for team up did not work inside the school. That day we was doing this or whatever, and one of the staffs at team up had put me to the side and was like, you know, you're very pretty, you're very smart, you don't get into any trouble, you don't cause us any trouble. Basically trying to say like they didn't understand why I was dating somebody like that. I tell him like he had one more strike and he was completely out, like he was going to Matter V or he was going to Grand Park for the rest of the school year. He could not come back to school, which if he was found on school grounds, it would be trespassing. I'm telling him like, for me, just like stay out of trouble. He was telling me like, he's trying, he's doing the best he can. He was like, but it's hard if he's a target. Like basically, teachers nitpick with him. You know, I never been in that predicament, so all I was saying was like, you know, stay out of trouble for me, because basically if we go to another school, we're not going to see each other. We probably barely going to talk because he had made this promise like, yeah, I'm going to stay out of trouble just for you. I'm just stay quiet and stuff like that. You even had teachers like disrespecting him just to get him out of character, just so they can write a referral so that can be his last strike. So I'm like, you know, try your best to ignore it. I don't know. I'm trying to be a good girlfriend, like help him like stay out of trouble. Last time I had seen him was in team up. Like I couldn't hug him. I couldn't talk to him. Nothing. Like we literally were just sitting across from the room just looking at each other. And he had explained to me when he got home what had happened. I ended up suspending him that day for like, I think 5 or 10 days. I don't really remember if it was 5 or 10 days, but I know they suspended him for some days. So he was gone for a little minute. He ended up coming back. So he ended up coming back from his suspension. I'm like, you know, stay out of trouble. We're not entertaining that, none of that. Like, don't even say nothing back to the staff at this point. So you don't have to get expelled. So he like, okay, cool. So boom, we doing good. He walking into my classes. He taking me to lunch. End of the day come, we go to team up. So y'all, this where like it gets all confused. Like the dean had me, you know, up. He was like, they got him sitting in the office, this, that, and the third. They told him to call his people. Basically, they wanted him off the school grounds immediately. So when we was going back into the cafeteria, text my phone and was like, I have to hurry up and leave school grounds or I'm gonna get arrested. So he was like, meet me out in the hallway. I grabbed the bathroom pass and I stepped outside the cafeteria. When you step outside the cafeteria, you was outside. He was like over there by the water fountains and I'm in front of the cafeteria door. So he starts walking towards me and then like he had put his arms around me. He was like, I don't know what's going on. He was like, but I had been told you they trying to expel me from the school permanently. They trying to send me to Grand Park or Matty V. So I don't know if I'm gonna see you again. So I'm like, what did you do this time? He like, nothing. So y'all, by this time we're walking around because if you come out of our cafeteria, it was like a roundabout, like it's a circle. In that circle, you're going to pass everything. You're going to pass the hallways, you're going to pass bathrooms, you're going to pass the stairs, you're going to pass the cafeteria, you're going to pass the bus lane, you're going to pass all that. So we're just walking in a circle because, again, he has to hurry up and go or they call him the police, right? At that moment, they don't even know where he at. They're thinking he left or something like that, but they're still searching school ground. I'm like, basically, you're not coming back to the schools. He was like, he don't know. That's what they're telling him. But if he do come back, that would be his last time coming back. So I'm confused. So he just talking to me and telling me stuff like, you know, he's still going to try to make a way to see me and stuff like that. So at this time, the dean starts coming out his office and we had a dean named Mr. Griffin. He did not like Luther for shit. Any little thing that he could pin on him, he would pin on him. It's not because I'm taking up for him. This was years ago, y'all. This is shit that I seen with my own 2 eyes, and this wasn't the only person he did this shit to. Dean Griffin comes out his office. We hear his keys jiggling shit. We hear the walkie-talkie. So Luther like step into the hallway. Boom. Step into the hallway and he like, I gotta hurry up and go, this, that, and the third. See my science teacher, Miss Craig. So she was like, can you babies help me carry the rest of the supplies to my room? So Miss Craig was coming from out of a supply room to take supplies into her, you know, homeroom. I grabbed some boxes, Luther grabbed some boxes, and Miss Craig grabbed some boxes and put them on the stand that she was, you know, pushing to her room. So we helped her take her boxes into the room, and we sit in the room with her for about 10 minutes, and we talked to Miss Craig, started giving like Luther advice. Shortly after that, he said he had to go like now. So Luther gives me a hug, and he walks out of Miss Craig's room. After he walks out of Miss Craig's room, I stayed in Miss Craig's room for another like 10-15 minutes because I was talking to her and helping her unpack her boxes. After that, they started calling on the walkie-talkie for all, you know, team up students to get to the cafeteria. As I leave Miss Craig's room, heading to the cafeteria, Luther is nowhere to be found. I assume, you know, he walked out the gate. The next day come, y'all. I'm thinking I'm not gonna see Luther because I wasn't sure if he was able to come back to school. Get to school and Luther is there, like, so I'm thinking, you know, he good. He's walking me to my classes and stuff like he normally does. We get to third period, which I had gym. I'm out there at gym, and Luther's sisters, the one in 7th grade, was out there talking to me and was like, yeah, Luther said he loved you so much and this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, oh, okay, da-da-da. So I'm talking to them outside in gym. As I'm talking to them outside in gym, Mr. Robertson walks up to me and asks for me. Now, Mr. Robinson was the team-up teacher. He like, you know, can you come with me? I'm like, yes. I didn't know what was going on, y'all. Plus, he a team-up teacher, so I didn't even know what he wanted from me. Before we even make it to the front office, he stops and he say, you're a good student. I'm still confused. So he got this clipboard and he say, do you know why I'm pulling you out of class? I said, no. So he shows me a statement that Dean Griffin wrote himself, stating that Luther forced me to leave team up to run off with him and was basically holding me hostage to do sexual things to me. Yes, y'all, the dean wrote this. So y'all know I'm in 6th grade, never been accused of anything like this, and if I was held hostage, you don't think I would have told my brother that's there? What? Like, huh? Mr. Robinson, like, you unaware of this? I said, yes, sir. I said, Luther never held me hostage. He never forced me out of team up. I said, that's not even what happened yesterday. Like, yeah, so I'm telling him at this point, like, yes, can we please go to the office to see what Dean Griffin talking about? It wasn't even for Luther's sake, because I'm not finna sit there and lie, but it's to clear my name up. Nobody held me hostage or forced me out of a cafeteria to go nowhere. So Mr. Robinson took me into the office and told me to write my statement. I wrote my statement. Mr. Robinson was like, yeah, I seen when you asked for the bathroom pass. I said, yes, sir. I told him the exact time I asked for the bathroom pass. I told him the exact time I returned with the bathroom pass. I even told him that me and Luther was helping Miss Craig take supplies back to her classroom. So they called her Miss Craig and they asked her like, hey, what time did she see me and Luther yesterday? She told them what time she seen me. She also told them what we was helping her with, and she told them the exact time we left her classroom. She stated that Luther left 10-15 minutes before me and I left after that, and she seen me getting on the bus. All that was accurate. So we all wrote statements. Luther wasn't in there though. It was me, Mr. Robertson, and it was Miss Craig. It all was a lie. I was innocent off rip. I wasn't even pulled out of class for 20 minutes. I literally went in there, told them what happened. I wrote my statement. They took my statement, seen that my statement was true, and returned me back to class. And after they returned me back to gym, they apologized for even pulling me out of, you know, class. What happened to Dean Griffin, I really don't know, because after that, I didn't hear no more about the situation. I got back to the gym. Luther's sisters was like, you know, what's going on? I heard something about Luther. So I told them what Mr. Robertson let me read, and they was like, you know, that's crazy. He wouldn't do nothing like that. They started getting scared because they was like, Luther got up and ran out of class. Dean Griffin knew that Luther had one more strike until he, you know, was sent off to Matavie or Grand Park. So basically he was trying to write another statement to get Luther sent off for good. It bothered me, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, it's like stuff like that. You said this man forced me out of the cafeteria, held me hostage, to try to force me to do sexual activities. He forced me out the cafeteria. You don't think that none of the staffs would have called that in or tried to involve themselves in it to basically stop him? You don't think that anybody else would have stopped him? You don't think that my brother would have stepped in? That was crazy. So I started to get worried because I didn't know where Luther was. So now gym is over. We finna go to our last period, which is fourth period. I'm texting Luther trying to see like, are you okay? Where you at? Are you still on school grounds and stuff like that? He's not replying back to me. So y'all, as I'm walking to fourth period, I see the police, the principal, the assistant principal, and the security guard on top of one person. And the person that they are on top of is Luther. So you got everybody standing around, everybody looking at me. And then when I look at Luther, he's looking me dead ass in my face. And he just looked so sad. And I was confused as to why they was arresting him and why was they on top of him. So I was just so confused and I had froze. I didn't know what to do. So I felt so bad. And as I'm looking at him, he literally just saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And I'm just stuck because I'm like, what? Like, what did you do? What did he do? And they like handcuffed him, picked him up, and they just walked away with him. And I just was like, nobody can tell me nothing like what he did. So after they arrested him, I ain't hear from Luther. So yeah, since that I have not seen Luther since. Now that we older, he has like reached out to me a couple of times, but you know, that has been it. Yeah, that's the story time of how your girl almost got kicked out behind a boy, even though the shit was false. But yeah, if y'all want more story times, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, send it to a friend or a family member, and stay tuned for my next video.